Imagine a future where we are producing innovative technology with cybersecurity in mind. That helps us to protect and defend ourselves, our schools, hospitals, companies, government, and our infrastructure that we rely on daily. The key word there is innovative or innovation. Innovation requires outside-the-box thinking, and one of the most critical factors that drives innovation is diversity. America is currently under cyber attack. Now let that sink in. America is currently under cyber attack. When I say America, I'm speaking about you and me, about companies, agencies, schools, hospitals, our government, and our critical infrastructure, which includes water, food, energy, transportation, communication, and public health. To add a numerical value to that statement, I'd like to share with you the FBI's most recent Internet Crime Report. In 2020, there were 791,790 Internet crime complaints, with a loss exceeding $4.1 billion. On average, there were more than 2,000 cyber attacks a day in 2020. I love sharing facts like these, in spite of how scary they sound, because knowledge is power, and the more we know and are aware of, the greater difference we can make. There's another important factor here, and that is currently there's a huge diversity gap in cybersecurity. Although agencies are aware of this gap and trying to address the issue, it is not enough. Because how can agencies fix the gap and recruit what's not there to recruit? For this answer, I look to the collegiate level, to diversity among populations such as here at CSUSB, where the total student population is 19,404 students. 63% of all students are female. 88% of all students come from a non-white background, and 87% of CSUSB students come from the San Bernardino and Riverside counties. These stats show how diverse we are and are definitely a cause for celebration. We also have two amazing scholarship programs here at CSUSB, specifically in cybersecurity. The National Science Foundation CyberCorps Scholarship for Service and the Department of Defense Cybersecurity Scholarship Program are both amazing opportunities to learn and develop your knowledge about cybersecurity, receive a full paid tuition, and additional support income to allow you to focus on your studies while developing your skills. And once you graduate, you go on to work in the public sector to help battle against those cyber attacks and work with the technology of today to help develop the technology of tomorrow. Sounds like the perfect solution to the diversity gap in cybersecurity, right? Well, there's a catch. I can speak to how amazing that the scholarship is because I'm a recipient of the National Science Foundation Scholarship for Service, but through my research, what I found alarming is that last year, only 14% of applicants were female, and thus far, this year is 0%. And the average percentage of non-white applicants is in the low 40% range. The diversity gap in cybersecurity is here at CSUSB too. When comparing the CSUSB stats to those of the scholarship program, I had to research to see what is causing these discrepancies. And what I found is that those from non-white backgrounds, such as myself, and females of any background all had these roadblocks that they needed or still need to overcome just to apply. The number one roadblock was some sort of self-doubt. Of the women I interviewed, 100% felt self-doubt as well as the feeling that they were looked at differently or doubted by others when mentioning they were in cybersecurity. The number two roadblock we all shared in the feeling of inadequacy, of not feeling good enough or technical enough. And finally, the number three roadblock, imposter syndrome, or the feeling of doubting your abilities to the point where you feel like a fraud or imposter. All of these roadblocks and misconceptions heavily contribute to the discrepancy between the demographics of the school and the applicants of these scholarships. We must all face and battle with these internal roadblocks. Remember I said earlier that knowledge is power, and the more we know, the greater difference we can make? Well, just being aware of these roadblocks is the first step to combating them. From my personal experience, being a first-generation college student from a Mexican and Spanish heritage, I can tell you firsthand about those feelings of self-doubt, the feelings of not belonging in college, let alone in a cybersecurity scholarship program. Even after receiving the National Science Foundation Scholarship for Service, I doubted myself, and if anything, being a recipient only amplified the imposter syndrome and the feeling of not being technical enough. Being in the scholarship program brought on a self-imposed expectation that I must know everything there is to know about cybersecurity. Otherwise, how could I be qualified to receive the scholarship? What has honestly helped me push these roadblocks aside was saying yes to any opportunities that come my way. My first introduction to CSUSB was through a summer scholar experience in cybersecurity. I applied for it on a lark after seeing an email for it. Once I was accepted to the summer scholar experience, I became more open to applying or signing up for activities and clubs. It was through the summer scholar experience that I became a member of the cybersecurity club on campus. And now, 4 years later, while in my graduate program, I am the president of the club. Being a part of clubs and volunteering for events gave me the space to fail and be okay with failing. So now, even when it seems daunting to apply for jobs, I know I have all this experience, and that is reassuring in the face of self-doubt. In the end, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What you believe becomes your reality. But the actual reality is, our standards for success are distorted, and they do not match that of the industry. Companies and agencies will train you, and the ideal candidate is the one that is passionate about the field and willing to learn. The future of cybersecurity is dependent on meeting the need for innovating professionals to work in the field. Particularly here at CSUSB, minorities have the numbers to fill this need. Moreover, the diversity of backgrounds is key for the innovative thought that cybersecurity requires. CSUSB is designated as a Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense by the National Security Agency and the Department of Homeland Security. CSUSB has the perfect environment and tools to systematically improve the levels of diversity in the field of cybersecurity, which is crucial for our future success. The opportunities are there, and all that it requires is that you set aside any self-doubt and just go for it. Be confident in knowing that you've made it this far, in spite of all odds, and use that to reach out for those opportunities. In closing, I want to remind you again that knowledge is power, and we have the power and diversity to innovate, secure, and define our future.